Hello, everybody. Welcome into the show. This is Citizen Central, our every once in a while show, roundtable talk regarding Star Citizen with a couple other folks, a couple of our friends who make content, talk about some of the bigger topics in Star Citizen, what they have to offer, what they're looking like, their development, all that kind of jazz. Now, every time we do this show, something is usually up with with the technological problems because we do this one live. So we are here live on Twitch and YouTube, and I hope everything is transmitting out to you folks because the folks at home who are listening or watching this after the fact, welcome in. We're here for you, and hopefully you have a good time. So let's get it right into it. I've got four of my friends here today, and we're going to talk about CitizenCon, the big annual event from Star Citizen where they talk about things that they want to do in what probably should be the next year, but usually ends up being the next 2 to 10 years, depending on how far back you go.
Nah. 2016 release, bro.
Yeah. You know, they're usually on time. So today we're going to talk about obviously a lot of things that may or may not show up in the next year, but ultimately this is about setting expectations on not just what might be in the game, but really what they will talk about at this event and what you should think of them when we get there. So first, let me introduce our folks. BoredGamer, you're our top left person for the day. So why don't you give a little shout out and tell people kind of what you do, why you're here, and all that jazz.
I'm BoredGamer. I've been covering Star Citizen for like a decade or something now. It was sort of more casual to start with as I was trying to understand what to do on YouTube. And then I went, I quite like this game and this project, and no one's creating content on the way that I like. So I started what I think might be the modern standard of Star Citizen news, which is why it's awful. So sorry.
Dude, we like your hello and welcome has been a household standard for us since 2017. No, it's great.
20 years.
Never stop welcoming us to the videos. Okay, I love it. But something you said there, you started doing YouTube before Star Citizen, or kind of like you weren't just planning on doing Star Citizen at first?
Oh, I didn't even know of Star Citizen's existence when I started my YouTube channel. And I was doing things like Diablo 3, which I had pretty good success with, and then Titanfall and stuff like that, because I was reasonably good at games then. Like I've got old now. Like I've got old with Star Citizen, and my Twitch response and my ability to track things is diminished compared to what it used to be. So
I love some board lore, dude.
I'm going to want Star Citizen to be less about Twitch response and skill and more about tactics and being slow.
He's taking away your shooter sim, folks. Get him. Dedleader, my skull in the camera spot. Tell us about yourself.
My name's Dedleader. I've been doing Star Citizen content for, I think it's probably 2 years now, 2 years at least. And I'd sort of just jumped on because, I don't know, I think I was looking to make content on something new, and I was looking at Star Citizen stuff, and I was like, there's a lot of people making stuff here, but there's not people kind of being funny with it, I think, and not being as serious. And so I sort of jumped in trying to be a not as serious kind of Star Citizen content creator, but then that turned into a bit more serious moving on. But I still like to think I'm a little bit lighthearted.
Star Citizen just makes you serious.
Everyone's being too serious, you know.
But you've been taking a little bit of break from content, yeah?
Yeah, I've been taking a break from Star Citizen making content just over the past couple months until CitizenCon, just purely because it's like I've been saying I've been working on renovating this whole caravan, and I'm like, oh, it's so hard to do when you're trying to get content like out. And so I was like, look, while everything's just kind of a bit quiet and everyone's already posting, like I can't bring a new point of view to what everyone else is already doing at this time. So look, I'm just gonna
doesn't stop me.
Yeah, well, nothing will ever stop you. The news will always keep going, man. And so while like excellent people like all yourselves here are all doing, like you all are actually, you do incredible stuff on Star Citizen where you guys don't need to stop right now. The 5-Star, you do some of the best fucking the shadow patch notes I've ever seen.
Thanks, man.
Out of any content creator. I go to all you guys for pretty much everything that I, wouldn't be putting out myself on a on a normal day anyway.
Oh.
But yeah, I've taken a little bit of time off, and it's been nice. But I'm excited to get back for CitizenCon when things are new again. You know.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it, buddy. Crucian, how about yourself, man? Uh-oh, I lost Crucian. You're muted. Why are you muted?
Sorry.
There you go.
There we go. Okay.
Hey.
I think when you moved me, so I made a comment to you, Board, earlier. I guess I was muted, but I was like, we should change your channel to Uncle BoredGamer now.
The old uncle.
Oh no, that's a great idea for a second channel. more candid.
Yeah, I've been around for quite some time. 2016 is when I started my journey in Star Citizen as a content creator. But once I kind of journeyed a little bit into the realm of esports, and then that's when I met my good friend Corsair, and we kind of, he dabbled this idea about the Day Rally, and that kind of snowballed into more competitive events, and we kind of, created this thing called ATMO Esports, where we really have a passion not only for the community, for competitive events in Star Citizen, and streaming took a back seat. So yeah, that's mainly what I do. A lot of behind the scenes, content, and working in to bring events to a competitive environment for Star Citizen, which a lot of people don't really agree about, but it's okay. I just my whole thing is to give people an experience they'll never forget, and that's what I'm trying to create, whether it's competitive events online or in person. So.
Yeah,
Those people don't want competitive events, though. They don't have to watch. It can be for the people that want them.
Wow.
Exactly.
Right?
What a
Exactly.
novel idea.
Exactly. It's like the MKBHD app, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
okay,
no.
sorry.
Well,
I'm
dude,
sorry. I had to.
I love the events you guys put on, and I'm looking forward to hearing more during the show about your guys' plans for the show. 5-Star, yourself, buddy.
Hey. What's going on, man? My name's The5Star. Nice to meet you guys. I've been doing content for about a little over a year now. So coming out of my freshman year, I started doing a series called Shadow Patch Notes, which is a very see a need, fill a need moment. There's always these little minute things that change every patch. So I go through with a fine comb, try to find everything and deliver it to you guys. So that's been really fun to do. Been great being a part of this community, and excited to see where it goes from here.
It's pretty nice to have a game that, I mean, it sounds weird to say it, but does so much so often that you can make a video series about like the stuff that kind of slips by in the patch notes, because there's just it's just constant little things happening that when you have a game that's changing so much, it's easy to miss those smaller things. So thank you for that.
Often they're really important as well. Like often they're quite massive changes. So
Yeah.
I definitely recommend everyone check out the 5-Stars Shadow Patch Notes videos.
Yeah.
It's a lot of systems, a lot of ships. It's so easy for things to change and just not get mentioned. So I don't blame Sig, but I feel like it's worth pointing out.
I agree with you there. So to get started with this, before we get into like expectations for the show, I want to know what you guys are doing for it. Who's going? Who's hanging out? Crucian, I definitely want to hear about your guys' atmosphere and the plans that you have at ATMO Esports. But Bored, I think I heard you say you're not going.
I am going.
You are going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally in his backyard. You can
That's
just
what I was
walk.
thinking. Yeah.
Let's go.
It's really in my backyard now. I've moved up from the south of England to the north of England. One of the reasons is to be closer to the Manchester studio.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm going to be there from the 18th to the 20th at least.
Nice.
I'm planning to come along and see and enter Atmosphere at the end as well. That should be a good laugh. Just really looking forward to it. There's a load of stuff I'm supposed to be planning. There's a load of meals for different people. I'm supposed to be seeing some CIG stuff and stuff as well. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. Maybe an office tour.
You're going to have a lot of people coming up to say hi to you.
Well, they're more than welcome to. I'm the perfect and lowest level of celebrity. It's the level of celebrity where people will buy you a drink and say hello, but then they leave you the fuck alone. On my French. I know, I swear, but we did. It's all good.
It's cat's out of the bag. When was the last time you went to a show?
2019.
Okay. So when they last had them. Okay. Dedleader, how about yourself? What are you doing for the day?
mean, I'd love to go, but I just don't have the money for it. I got invited by CIG to go do the tour of the offices and all that, but it's just too far away and I'm too poor, so so I won't be doing that. But I'm going to be doing hosting a stream of it and doing the same thing that I did last year, which was hosting a dad bingo, where we I make up like a bingo card of, instead of doing like a CitizenCon bingo of just things that Star Citizen are going to have, we do a dad bingo of all the different types of dads that we see in the audience. So you know how there's like Space Dad. Everyone says that Star Citizen is a bunch of space dads playing it. Well, that's what it's all based off. So we go like, all right, we're looking for a wizard dad, and so everyone in the chat is like looking out for like different types of people that could be classified as a wizard dad or a this dad, or like we came up with so many lists of all these different ones, and it was all just on the fly last year, and it ended up being so dumb funny.
Message me. I'll make sure I put some hats out in the audience.
Ooh, oh yes,
Hat dad.
please. We can get some rare. We can get some real rare ones in the audience that we planned. We get like a shiny dad in there, like a Pokemon.
Like, wow, I can't believe I filled out this card.
Dad.
I did not set
You
this
are
up.
Coach Dad.
But yeah, no, I'm really lazy with when CIG give me ships to give away. I'm really lazy with hosting competitions. So essentially, whenever CitizenCon is out now, I just give them all out on the CitizenCon stream. So any ships they send me, like for CitizenCon as well, I think I've got like 7 or 8 ships sitting to give away. And
It's a way to do it.
Get plenty more, and I'll just give them away.
Who
If
doesn't
you
like
get a bingo for your dad.
A 3 hours of like 5 ship giveaways. That's good times.
Yeah, that's 2 days of it. Yeah.
You should let them know, since they invited you for the office tour. Just be like, hey, can you guys give me a video call and walk around with me on the screen? I'll make sure to have some commentary ready.
Or hide a dad on stage with them somewhere, in the background. A Pico dad.
Stealth dad.
A Pico ball holding like world's #1 dad or something.
They might get sued. Pico balls. Be careful. Crucian, I know you guys got big plans for ATMO Esports. I'd love to hear what you guys are going to be doing and what you personally are. Well, I guess you'll be, hosting and logistics the whole time. But tell us a little bit about what ATMO Esports is doing for CitizenCon.
Yeah, before I jump into that, I'll say that I've been to the office in Manchester, and it's probably one of the nicest offices that I've been to for a game development studio. I've been to like Blizzard one, and that one's a lot of fun too. But I think that what they did at the Manchester studio for the creators that are going, or people that are going to get to see it, they're going to be very well surprised. And all I will say here is just pay attention to the walls. The walls have some pretty cool stuff on them, especially some lower pieces that may or may not ruin some hints, but hey, that's all I'll say. So I'll just say that if you're going there, it's definitely going to be a sight to see. That office is really incredible. So, but yeah, ATMO Esports is hosting our own first ever live esports event. At I don't like calling it esports because obviously the game is not in a state where we have competitive integrity, but it is an esports showcase. So we have a pretty amazing lineup of events that we're going to have there. We're going to have things like showcasing ship racing with some of like the fastest ship racers in Star Citizen right now. We're going to be doing a panel talking to a couple, CIG devs about specifically like how competitive events are living in the game and how it looks like in the future. In that panel so far, we have like Richard Taylor, we have Yogi, we have another CIG dev that I can't announce yet, but they're going to be coming on board. And then we have a meet and greet with like, Chris Roberts and Sandy during that entire panel in case people don't want to get out, walk around and not sit down, in the theater hall. And then towards the end of it, online, we've been running an entire PvP tournament called Fight or Flight. And this year, the way we did it is that we did regions. We actually connected very well with the Chinese Star Citizen community, which are absolutely incredible people, even though they had some issues on the last Bar Citizen stuff. But not to get too deep into that, but they really helped us out. They ran the APAC region. Then we did an EMEA region, and then we did an Americas region. And then we had around, I would say, 70 to 80 competitors. And then we kind of clocked them all down to one team for each region. And then we're out of like, this is not me trying to say that, we have deep pockets, but out of our own pockets, out of the admin team's pockets. We're flying these teams out to compete in a championship final where we have a trophy, we have everything. And it's going to be all on a place called Aviva Studios that has an incredible, massive, like, theater hall seating. It has about 1,200 seats. We're going to have an entire, like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but the stage is going to be the way we have it designed. We kind of took inspiration from a lot of different things, from Halo, from League of Legends, and we kind of put something,
You got me.
a
You won me
smaller
over.
version.
You said Halo.
Yeah, and when people just walk in, they're gonna see just how incredible everything's gonna look. The stage, the way we have even the caster desk where I'll be hosting the show. Like it's in the, like, foyer where there's like private bars and people are gonna be there, but it's gonna be like cut off with rope. But we're gonna have an entire backdrop of Manchester, and it's gonna look absolutely great. So we've been really planning a lot and working very hard. And I honestly, I wish I could make this event free. If I had the capital to make this event free, I would have. But in order to throw this event, what happened is that because the gala was supposed to be taking place at Aviva Studios, they kind of scrapped that to put, I think they scrapped it to put more money into CitizenCon itself, to make that experience, 10 times better, which I totally agree. So
Yeah.
we kind of stepped in that spot and kind of like, hey, since you guys, are not doing the gala there, maybe we can do something. And then that's where the idea was born to do that. So the event is taking place on Sunday evening after CitizenCon finishes. So I believe they should have a schedule out, but CitizenCon is finishing around like 2 or 3 p.m. And then our show is doors open at 4 p.m. and then our show starts at 4:30. So we got some really cool things that we're gonna show, some brand new trailers that we're working with Haska to make. It is a ticketed event, a separate ticketed event aside from CitizenCon, because what we're trying to do is give people an experience that, again, they're never gonna forget. So you do have to buy a ticket for it. It's around, I think, $45, but obviously we're in the UK, so there's VAT. We can't dodge VAT. We have to charge the VAT, because if not, people were complaining about this, that like, hey, I have to buy a ticket and I have to pay for VAT too. I thought it has to be included in the ticket. If we include it in the ticket, then when we pay the venue, the venue is going to charge us VAT. And then if we don't charge you guys VAT, then we're going to lose 20% of all of our ticket sales and get even sunk low, without trying to break even. So for people that have been talking to us about like, hey, why are you charging VAT, or why is it there? It's because it's in the UK, and that's not something, unfortunately, that we can dodge. But yeah, it's a pretty massive event. I got to give props to the CIG team. As the game is crowdfunded, they don't support financially at all. But what they do a great job is helping with marketing, helping put our name out there. They did a comms link for this event. They've done so much to help make this event a success. And to be quite frank, there's a lot of people that are coming that we're grateful for. There's a lot of some content creators that have reached out to us, be like, hey, can are tickets available for you guys? But we tell people, look, we're just trying to break even. We need everybody, even devs are
Guilty.
paying for. No.
Guilty as charged.
I'm saying this because of the next point I'm going to make. Even the devs are purchasing tickets because they want to see the success of not only like competitive events, but also for the community itself. So, but yeah, it's a big task. It's a lot of planning, but I think that we are doing our best to really bring something special. Other than, don't get me wrong, I love to hear the devs talk and I love to hear panels, but I feel like CitizenCon to me is more like a BlizzCon, and I really want that extra thing that is gonna put some kind of heat in my chest to get me excited and to get my blood pumping of things happening. And normally that's what competition or esports does. So and during all this, we're trying to make it an effort to make it worth it for everybody, right? Yes, you have to pay for a ticket for $45, but on top of that, like, our badges are all hollow foil, so it's a commemorative piece. You get a poster that at CitizenCon where you can literally walk around. Haska had made these posters from scratch, so You can walk around, get all the devs to sign them. So and then
He's the best.
Yeah,
yep,
shout out to
he's
Hoscott.
really good. So and then you can get a drink ticket. A drink ticket normally is worth 8 to 9 pounds depending on what drink you get. So on top of that, your first drink is on us. So we're trying to really make it worth it for everybody, give everybody a great experience. And I'm telling you, the theater looks absolutely incredible. If you haven't seen photos of me, kind of going around, I went to Aviva Studios to tour the building and to make sure that all of the planning was going well. So I flew to the UK just to do that myself, out of my own pocket too. So I mean, the attention to detail is we're just working very hard on it. So and I really hope when it comes to the day that everybody appreciates the work that we're putting in. And last thing I said, tickets are still available.
Can I ask you
Started
a
a
question?
show there. Yeah.
So, for people that can't attend, is there a level of streaming presence or VOD presence?
Yes. We will be streaming to all of our platforms like we normally do, which is Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as well. And we welcome any content creators to co-stream it as well.
So, and what will that experience be like for people that are turning up to watch that compared to the actually attending? Do you see what I mean? Like what you're planning to do on the live stream?
So there is no difference. What people see in person are going to be able to. That's what they're going to see on stream. So you're going to see like big pans of like the stage, and you're going to see everything. But the excitement about being in person is that when people are competing, especially on a high level, and there's those nail biters, like what you're seeing at home is a screen, and you're not seeing the competitors pop up during the matches or going crazy during the matches. So which makes the experience so much better. But
Esports Live is totally different from
it's
watching
hard to
a stream.
broadcast the energy.
It was
It's
pretty.
a total vibe.
It was a lot at
I mean,
CitizenCon last year. It was really good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have things where people can hear the crowd clapping and cheering and things like that, of course, on via the broadcast. But it should be almost similar, but just being there is gonna take it way more levels of notch. Because I'm telling you, when you hear an explosion, when you're watching people PvP, you're gonna hear it in your chest, and that's what I want.
I'll say this, of everything you said, I think this is just key that people need to remember. There's no VAT and pyro. Just move out there, no taxes. It's good times. Got to get away from the man.
There's no VAT and pyro. That's so
I
true.
I really like the name Atmosphere. I think that was a very good play on words for the arena.
You have no idea how difficult it was to come out with a logo that didn't look like an EA logo because it's Enter Atmosphere. And we came down to, we actually purchased a logo that somebody had made, so we purchased the rights to it, and then we changed it because we didn't want people to Google it and find it. So we actually made subtle changes that make it look like it's a ship entering atmosphere. And if you haven't watched the trailer that we made for it, oh my goodness,
It's a good last shot.
it's so
I like
good.
it.
Yeah, that last shot was it was like they did such a great job because like the
Money shot.
the transition was like ships going into atmosphere in Star Citizen, and then it just transitions to the logo, and it's just so sick.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Thank you. 5-Star. How about yourself? What are you going to be doing today?
what's going on? Crucian, I just want to say thanks for everything you do with the Daymar rally and everything. That was one of the first things I noticed in SC and really got me into it. So love everything you guys do.
thank you, appreciate it.
So as for me, we're gonna do what we did last year. Stream the show from the point of view of you guys, talk about it, and kind of go through with a fine-tooth comb, see what they promised this time, and what gets delivered. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just gonna stream on Twitch, and really looking forward to it. I would love to go if they ever do another one in the US. The next time they do, I think I'm definitely gonna go.
I think next
For
year.
sure.
I think next year we'll see it in Texas. At least I hope
Ooh.
so.
Hot
Yeah,
take
that's why
for
they have all
you.
the servers, right?
A hot take for you. They're rebuilding the convention center in Austin, so just to let you know.
Good timing.
Yeah, they're doing it both Austin and Dallas. So
Mm.
if it's not done by next year, I don't know where they're planning on doing it. That's all I can say.
We'll have
So,
to see.
Could there ever be a East Coast one? I don't know if they have any studios out there.
Montreal would be the closest
Montreal,
to that.
yeah.
Ah,
But I don't know, but you brought up something good that I think is a good segue into our discussions about CitizenCon itself and the content that's coming with it. The first thing that I think we should discuss is putting this in context of last year's CitizenCon. So every CitizenCon has been different, but we all have you've probably seen the trends of how they've been delivering stuff more and more throughout the last few CitizenCons, I think, that they talk about. But with 3 months left in the year, and just about 50 to 55, 52% of the features they talked about during last CitizenCon actually in the game at this point. Why should folks care about what's going to be shown at this event this year? That one's free for anybody to answer. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the thing is, this last CitizenCon was so big because you got to think it's been years prior to that since we had the last live one, and this one came out. It was in LA. We knew it was going to have something to do with SitCon, and being in LA made a lot of sense. With Squadron. And after that SitCon, I felt like the game went to a new level of awareness in the gaming community. You know, we had a lot of big name people covering it, and they made some big promises, you know? And most of it is in, a lot of it is not. But I think going forward into this one, the really big thing, I think, is they gotta do something other than pyro. I think that's everybody's general vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think they will, personally.
Yeah, they've definitely. I mean, they've already started to kind of talk about, oh, we're looking at things past 4.0. Do you guys think they'll even mention pyro? Like, would it be better for them to just completely ignore pyro?
Just ignore
They'll
it.
mention
Please.
pyro.
They will.
They will. 100% they will. But everyone's right.
Just completely keep it off their tongue. Like, we don't know anything about that. We're
I've
on a
got
different road now.
I've got a little bit of a worry about this SitCon because I think the last one was them like, all right, we're coming back off the break. 4.0 is coming. We're talking about, things we can finally kind of announce. And so I feel like they really did announce things that we, are there, are real, and they got a lot of that credit back. But I've got a feeling that this one, since like all that fundamental technology is all kind of technically supposed to be in by next year in CitizenCon and everything, I've got a feeling they're going to go they're going to start saying things they haven't ever said before, kind of thing. Like, we're going to hear about multiple other star systems, and we may hear about the sandworm again. There's a chance they may really throw us off with how crazy they go this time, right? Like, maybe. I hope not, because if not, it might just be them showing us just more of 4.0, more like the same things again. And I'm not interested in seeing.
But if they were going to do that, if they were going to just throw stuff in there that's supposed to surprise us, why should people care, given how much stuff they showed last year that's still not in?
Hype.
Well, I hate your question, okay, on this. Okay, by what measurement is 52% of the features from last year's CitizenCon are you measuring by? It's just, that is totally how you bundle it. You could say 1% or 99%.
It's a little arbitrary because obviously everybody sees everything that they said as different features, but I have a list of the things that they talked about last year, and I've gone through the things that I've seen them deliver.
Going from someone else's list.
Yeah. It's my show.
You've decided
it's
that
my
52%
show.
of the named features, not the scope or size of them, haven't been in yet. And are you including things in 4.0 and 3.24.2 as things they haven't got in yet?
I am including things in 3.24.2, but not in 4.0. If they did deliver 4.0 this year, then it would be up to like 70%. And again, honestly, it's not weighted, like you said. It doesn't depend on the size of the feature, but just off of just going down a list of features, it is definitely not anywhere close to being all of the features, but it's also not everything. It's not nothing.
Not that far off. They're not that far off, honestly. When it comes to like, things being like, to be honest, like with the delay that happened with like, 3.24 and then the 0.1 bit, that stumble there, I was like, okay, yeah. Oh, hold on, I don't know if they're going to make this. But since then, like, they're pushing to try these big things. So even if it is like, at IAE, the majority of those things pop in, like, to me, that's promise kept.
Yeah.
Like, 2 months after, yeah, like, you have to have a reasonable buffer, guys. You know, it's only because they've committed this crime so many times before that a lot of people.
Well, I just say
don't
that
have
It's
any
trauma,
buffer.
man.
Promises are
Repeat offender.
advisory in CIG. They are non-binding. Their promises. We promise this. What does that mean? It means they might do it. Kinda. If you're lucky.
But like that 3, when it comes to development, that 2 to 3 or even 4 like window either side of a promise like that is so reasonable. Is so reasonable for something of this.
There are. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think people should definitely care. One thing that I mean, honestly, I don't want to hear about Pyro again, to be honest, because I feel like it's pretty much redundant at this point. And I've been around for quite some time. Believe it or not, what I would like to see is like the current systems being completed, like seeing a before and after, because there's so many things that are missing right now, and I think that in itself would probably excite people of how much extra things a moon, planets, and these different things are going to have. I think if they can add gameplay and stop talking about pyro and add things that actually are meaningful to the game, I think people would definitely be incredibly interested. So,
I mean, part of like CitizenCon is like the just hype and spectacle.
Yeah.
You want to sort of enjoy that. They want to go, what are we working on? What have we got? Even if it's a bit tech demo-y that we've shown to Chris Roberts, what can we actually show off? And we'll show it to the community. And I like it for that.
Yeah.
I do think that you have to have your expectations within the category of mature to go, oh, it's a cool thing. When are we going to get it? Or they're saying within a year. That might be within 18 months, maybe. Like,
I think it was funny that he at the beginning of CitizenCon, he said within the next 12 months. He said, we want to get everything within the next 12 months. By the end of CitizenCon, he was saying through the end of next year. Like, he was definitely like, guys, wait for those extra 2 months because there's still more stuff that would come technically after CitizenCon the next year. And I think a lot of people miss that and just listen to, oh, it's within the next 12 months. And there's like a lot of give that you can have for what's happening by the end of the next year. They're not obviously going to get all that stuff in. I don't think they needed to. I don't think that was really the message being sent there. Well, we're not going to see like Maelstrom by the end of the year, right?
Well, so we're not going to see Maelstrom in our hands unless something magical happens. But we might see something that goes into the preview build. We might
Armor
see
happening is looking fun.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but that is just a placeholder component armor rather than
But as far as gameplay, like really changing the gameplay,
yeah.
that's what Maelstrom does really for. Anyway, sorry, I cut.
No. But I like that. I'm not sure if Tomato wants it, but I love it when people.
That's why we're here, man. It's a round table.
Like chaos.
Jump on the table,
So
fight it out.
Around, man. Whew.
Where do you guys stand on the 4.0 this year? Yay or nay? Think it's gonna happen?
I think so.
Can it be in any form?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
As long as it's a number, I suppose.
If it's PTU,
Oh,
I don't know if I'll
PTU,
count
man.
it personally, but
At least PTU. I think 80%, 80-20 sort of likelihood that it will be in this year by the end of the year.
Yeah, I could see open PTU when they keep the 324 on live servers. It'd be just like they did with 318.
No, look,
No, don't
that's
say
it. Here you go.
318.
It's 100% going to come out. They'll put it
Yeah.
out, but they're going to put it out no matter the state of it. That's what they're
Yeah.
going to do.
Yeah, I
It'll
think
go
that would be a
live
mistake.
by the end of the year.
It's
100%.
PTU,
They
baby.
got sales by the end. Hey, the whole thing's PTU, baby. Exactly, you're right. 100%.
I think
that's what they'll do.
I think that would be a mistake. 4.0 is going to have a lot of eyes on it.
It's a mistake, but they'll do it.
I mean, I feel like the strategy is IE, right? Make a lot of money and then break the game with 4.0 and release it.
But it's still getting towards 1.0, isn't it? And that's one of the sort of some of the stuff that people should watch CitizenCons, especially if they're not into Star Citizen very much at the moment, because it's nice to see what is going to be happening in the next year or so and where they've got to with their engine and the dream of the project. Because it shows off like this is the blue skies thinking, this is what it can look like, and this will be in your hands some point.
exactly.
I like
And I remember, Bored, to quote something you said once in a video, he called
Oh.
CitizenCon hype, shock, and awe.
Yes,
And I
it is. It is.
That's exactly what it is,
Yeah.
man. So that's why my vision for what's going to happen is they're going to show more star systems. Whether or not that means anything, It could be a nothing burger. You know, they've served us nothing burgers with French fries for many years now.
Yeah.
But if they could just show that, you know, I'm sure Squadron has a couple systems they worked on, like Odin and stuff. They could just show some snippets of that, a la Star Engine trailer, and boom, hype, shock, and awe.
Do you think that they will keep Chris from saying anything date related? Will they be able to?
Let him go crazy. Go crazy, Chris.
Hello, baby.
He's gonna come back on stage and be like,
good or bad.
he's gonna come back on stage and be like, I'm not gonna give you guys any dates. They always say don't give dates. I won't give dates, and then he's gonna give a date 2 minutes later.
I think he's going to do a joke. I think he's going to say that or something similar, and then go. But Squadron 42 is going to be released on this date, and he's going to give a hard Squadron 42 release date.
I
That is
think
my
so. Yeah.
expectation. Along with that joke, actually.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about what we actually do expect to come in, to be announced and be talked about in general. Obviously, Squadron 42 is a big one. How many of you guys think we'll get an actual date?
I think so.
Yeah. Me too.
I think so as well. Even if it's 2 years out, or a year and a half, I think a date is very much needed at this time. Like being what do you call it? Being feature complete, and then coming to this year's CitizenCon and not having a date, I think is going to be a massive missed opportunity. So.
And what do you guys think that date will be?
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, putting you on the spot. Give me an
Q2
exact
2026. Q2 2026.
Q2 2026, a year and a half.
I think early 2026.
Okay.
Just dodge GTA 6 in fall of 2025.
And
That's a good point.
and then
That's a
GTA
That's a good
delays
point.
into February of
Dodge it,
2026.
give it some time to just burn and let people enjoy it and do their RP stuff, and then here comes the next hot thing, early 2026. So
Yeah, that's a good point, though, Tomato. I think GTA 6 is still kind of tentative on its date, so you never know. It might bleed back.
Yeah, it's looking like that game might be delayed.
I can see them aiming for a major holiday that adults take as well, because I was thinking about normally like Christmas time they aim for like main like single player AAA titles would come out around Christmas time if you're looking to go that big.
Yep.
But otherwise, yeah, it could just be they're looking for like, we're not children, which is probably what that's sort of based around. But maybe a holiday like that, they would look to drop it for maximum sort of reach.
Labor Day.
So what would you be thinking, Ded?
I mean, maybe like around the end of the year or around sort of Easter time kind of thing, like when they can kind of get a real long, hard, like a long weekend in there globally.
Next year, 2026.
Yeah, as like a potential. I don't want to say this year because then I'm the idiot that they go, oh, Dedleader thought
we're all idiots, man.
It's going to come out, and it comes out 10 years from now. I can't be on record saying that. All right, you ask too much, but maybe 2026. I potentially could think.
Okay.
But in their head, I can see them thinking at the end of this year. By the end of this year, Squadron 42. Marketing, I can see them wanting to say that.
You say by the end of this year, you mean
what?
2025, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
2024.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Oh, it's so
I can potentially them seeing it coming. I know they
yeah,
want
yeah.
to say. I know they want to
Imagine.
say that it's coming out this year or the start of
Whoa,
next year.
that would.
Squadron 2 months from now.
clip that or
The way that they're putting this sort of like their marketing out, and the way that how far they've been pushing it, like the drops and all this little bit, they would want to say that it's going to be some.
Ded, you just said you didn't want to be on the.
CitizenCon.
No,
Just
that's
a
what
ghost
they
job.
want. They want that.
I don't know,
So
man.
I would,
They,
yeah, I
CIG
would,
want that.
I would be
I
shocked.
think
And
it's going to.
Yeah, I would
Sorry.
be shocked, and here's the reason why. They need Squadron 42 to flood people to the MMO. If the MMO is not ready with server meshing, it's once people flood over and they have that one chance to capture that audience, and they lose those millions of people that are playing Squadron 42, that is a massive missed opportunity. So I would be shocked if they release it any time before that, 4.0 or 1.0 is even ready.
Well, yeah, maybe that's
Well
it.
said.
Man. Maybe it's
Well said.
4.0 end of the year, and then there was Squadron 42 around Q2 next year.
So you think-
They want to. I don't think.
What maybe with Fleet Week? With Fleet Week next year, you think?
Yeah. And then that
That's a lot
way,
of money
like,
they can make.
Yeah, and that's all depending on if they iron the bugs out of 4.0. You know, just sort of tentative.
Crucian is 100% right. Like, it is a ridiculous thing for them to try and push Squadron 42 out before they can actually make the game anywhere close to mainstream.
To even,
Yeah.
to be,
It's a very good point.
To support it. Like,
So, Board, what do you think they'll announce in terms of Squadron?
That's a good question. I think that I'll trust them on their 2016 release date.
Okay, good.
Nice.
How funny would that be if they came out and actually had that on the screen? Like, answer the call,
Oh my
guys.
God.
The 20...
And they just cross it out. Ooh, 2026. So yeah, if you had told me when I was at CitizenCon 2015 that I would have to wait 10 years, say, a decade until Squadron 42's release, I'd have been quite grumpy.
Yeah.
But we're talking about it potentially being longer than that. So I do think it's going to be a 2025 release. I was going to say it could potentially be earlier in 2025, but Carishan's totally right. Like, that would be madness, unless server meshing's working really well and all that sort of stuff. So maybe the end of 2025. And I suppose if server meshing was broken, they'd have to make Arena Commander really polished so they could capture that audience.
Oof.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yep.
Like something like that. But I do think they're pretty close to Squadron 42. I do think they're at the end of the road for polishing. I do think that now it's marketing is going to be the main thing. When is the good release window for them, rather than is it going to be ready?
And this is the marketing platform to start that run.
Yeah, I think of all things, I think one thing that we can probably rely on is that they will have a proper trailer for Squadron 42 come out at CitizenCon. That would act as the thing that people would share and would start to spread the word about it, because last year's Held the Line, that's not a trailer, that's not something that can go viral and people can like learn a lot about the game, because you see it on YouTube and you see like a 20-25 minute video. A lot of people aren't even going to click into that.
What do you think about a playable Squadron 42 demo
at CitizenCon?
Yes.
Yeah,
No
I think
chance.
that's
or next year.
I think there's a opportunity for that, but they're so squeamish about sharing Squadron 42 stuff. I don't know.
Maybe not this year.
Maybe
not. I've heard there might be some celebrities there. That's what I'm saying.
What do you guys all think? You think instead of a pyro playground, it'll be a Squadron 42 skirmish?
Well, yeah, they do have to start that marketing campaign, and
I would agree. I definitely do think Christian brought up a good point. I think you got to let the MMO cook a bit. So late 2025, if that is what they're going for, which I think might be what they're going for, it would make sense to have a playable demo, something that people can get their hands on, talk about, even mainstream media, IGN and all of that.
Mission isn't that
cover.
much.
Yeah, just a little something, just so they can have more coverage on that from a journalist standpoint.
Just give us the vertical slice from 2018. That would be good enough. I don't care if I play through the same thing. See how much it has improved since then.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a playable demo this year for sure. I think, like I said, 2026 release date early, demo most likely next year at next CitizenCon. I think that's the flow. It just makes sense, but
it's probably
they do stuff they do stuff that don't make sense, so it don't matter.
Yeah, it would be. I think it would be rough for them to go 3 CitizenCons saying, "Yep, Squadron 42 is in polishing." Like 3 separate annual events saying that same thing would be a lot. But I guess we do that with Pyro.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys think? I guess let's settle on it. Could be 2025 or 2026, and then we'll have the little wild card sitting out here to come back to in 3 years when it's actually looking like 2028 or 20.
No.
I'll be wrong.
I don't want to be 50 before it's released. I was young.
We'll be inheriting our accounts to our children.
Mark Hamill age. I saw chat was mentioning Mark Hamill's tweet quite a bit.
Yeah,
that,
he mentioned
he-
Squadron 42.
Yeah, that's. I
Yeah.
think we should all keep in mind that was a response to somebody who said, "I can't wait to see you in Squad." He didn't just tweet that out randomly. He was responding to somebody else saying that they were
Oh,
excited.
we knew. We found out.
72nd birthday. They better get any pickup lines quick for episode 2 and 3, is all I'm saying, with John Rhys Davies, Mark Hamill, and some of the aging cast before they're no longer wanting to work. Or AI it, I suppose, actually.
Did they age him up initially? I feel like he caught up to his character age-wise.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. They must have known. We're not going to release this for 12 years, so let's go ahead and put him, make him older. Okay, so moving on from Squadron 42, let's talk about just general features. Actually, first, I want to hear your hottest takes. What do you think they're going to release that's actually going to surprise people? I know you were saying that you expect them to go all balls to the wall with it, but what's like one thing that you guys think is at least reasonable, but
Star
will
systems.
catch people off guard that they might introduce?
I reckon it's star systems. It's the same that 5-Star said. I reckon they're going to go nuts with kind of announcing things properly, and I reckon they're going to say at least one new star system next year. At least one new one next year. Which, like they're going to
Next.
promise it.
Right, we've been working on Knicks, so that makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Nice.
I
Yeah, I
can
don't
see
know.
I see them going like promise, and then having maybe even having a roadmap of like, and then and 2 months after that, we're looking at or like 6 months after that, they're gonna like announce a roadmap of some sort of promising of fluffing out these reckons. I
I'm
can
sure
almost
everybody will
guarantee
believe it.
Yeah,
So
I can see
that-
them showing it. I don't know about promising like it'll come, but they'll definitely show it. I think they'll show a star system or two, which we know doesn't really mean anything solid, but I think
It's been
they'll
a
show
long
it.
while since they
Yeah.
have, and it's like there's a whole new audience in now that haven't had that blow
Yeah.
up in their face as a promise as well, and are likely to believe it because they, once again, remember this is the CitizenCon that once 4.0 is out, technically their technical barriers are kind of out of the way. The things that they've said with server meshing and all, and PES, all the things that they've previously blocked every single other gameplay element from coming in, they are all theoretically supposed to be taken care of with 4.0, or the start of that being, and them sort of unleashing, being like going back into that development of it being more of a game properly. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think the star systems will start coming a little exponentially quicker after Pyro.
they're
Well-
gonna make us believe it at least.
they can't come any exponentially slower.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Okay? If we get one every 2 years, it would be exponentially faster.
You're gonna be like, yeah,
Well,
we're making logarithmic process now, so good to go.
'Cause I believe they've had like Pyro like pretty like finished for quite a while now, or it's been like at such a state where they could have gotten it like completely finished if they needed to, but because it hasn't been needed to, they haven't fully finished everything.
They
that's new
don't
into it,
have
but-
crunch in the same way that other studios have crunch. It's their
Exactly.
crunch
And so
anyway.
for all we know, they've been doing that on all multiple other systems, and that to a high degree that maybe Pyro is, maybe they're that similar right now,
Well,
And
that's
okay,
one of the things
that-
so
that's one of the things we might see, right? Planet Tech V5.
well, let's
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
So before we get on to other hot takes, question from chat. I'm going to pull up. Why would you be more excited for more star systems?
More
gameplay.
playground.
More
Like,
spaceships for the 1-star system we have. That's what I want.
Now,
Look,
there's two things. Are they showing star systems to know that it's coming, or they're actually going to show star systems and put it in as soon as possible? Because if they're showing star systems, I specifically don't get that excited. But if they're showing like, hey, once 4.0 is out, this is where we can also go, then that gets me excited. But if they're just going to show something to tell me is going to come in Q4 of next year or Q3 of next year, then I'm unfortunately not that excited, to be honest. So
What would be the features that you would want to hear them talking about that would make new star systems more interesting to be announced at CitizenCon?
Ooh. Man, I've been really, really chomping at the bit for the personnel transport. Like giving luxury ships a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be really cool to like take a VIP from this system to that city. That'd be really cool, having NPCs on the ship. That'd be some cool. And data running, of course.
You need exploration, and for that you need to be able to share markers, sell markers, and have reasons to explore. So you need base building,
Yeah.
crafting. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's quite a lot that needs to come online to make more star systems worthwhile, but you still need more
Yeah.
star systems. Like,
Yeah. At
So,
the
like,
moment,
Space, I know one of the things you're really most interested in is data running, right?
Yes.
And so, to my understanding, the whole idea of that is that data can't be transferred through a jump point, so you have to like physically do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the main things where like having multiple systems really makes that possible. You know.
Yeah.
So having it come in now would be like perfect timing.
There's
at the moment, it feels like angry kids all in the one room, all like, you know, oh, there's too much energy in this room. We need to get like, yeah, like anywhere you want to go that, like, say a new gameplay element is in. When you go there, you know you're not going to have to wrestle with the game, but all the other players who are likely in your way to grief you, like along the way, because they know it's new and like, all right, well, how can I like? It was like, you know, when they found that legendary armor that you could farm, and those places became just like massive hot sites, and that's fun when it is emergent battle gameplay, but it just feels like a crowded toy box at the moment. And like having those extra systems open up just so like, you know, oh, this is a dangerous one, and oh, this one's a, you know, an empty one, and you can set up a home here, and having that difference between them is just going to make all those interactions you have with other players actually like interesting, in my opinion.
I think
we just tested 1,000 players, so you know it's going to be a lot.
I think there is a lot of nuance between different star systems that don't necessarily pop out as new features. Things like what kind of laws actually matter there, what kind of economic advantage can you get by getting something in a star system that's completely normal there and taking it back to a star system where it's incredibly rare. What kind of people can you find there that are more interested in the types of missions that you like to do? There's a lot that they can do, but I think that's where it starts to get complicated, is you can pump out star systems all you want with planets and asteroid belts, but getting into the factions, getting into the specific assets, items, collectibles, harvestables, things you can actually find and explore is like what really makes a star system matter. And I think that's what ends up taking a while. But going beyond star systems, you know, that was Dedleader's hot take. What else would you guys like to see specifically get introduced at the CitizenCon that maybe people aren't expecting?
roadmap to 1.0.
Okay. You think they'll finally be ready for it?
I think they'll be ready to talk about it and go, we've got a plan for a Star Citizen, a minimum viable product. But they won't say minimum viable product because that's a horrible use of language for Star Citizen.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I think with that, they'll probably want to, well, I want to see homesteads. I want them to be bases, and I want crafting to be talked about and shown. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's the sort of
Oh,
thing
well,
I'm hoping for.
that's not a hot take. We know that's going to happen. They literally put out a video and said, come to CitizenCon to learn more.
About homesteads. What's a homestead?
Well, yeah. I assume they're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I think for sure. Base building is something, it's kind of the reason I started playing the game, you know? I used to play like Ark Survival Evolved and Rust and stuff. And I saw the Pioneer commercial, and that kind of sold me on the game, not going to lie. So after seeing last CitizenCon and that huge reveal of the base building stuff, I think them saying they started development in Q1 of 2024, whether or not that actually happened, I think we'll definitely see more of that for sure at CitCon.
Yeah. Maybe even apartments again. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, building interiors is...
They've done
is-
hangars. They've done persistent hangars, and like they've said,
been
"Oh, this is
working.
the first step on it." Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They've been working on interiors for buildings, so
Yeah, building interiors would be awesome, man, especially for ArcCorp, because right now you can't do anything on the surface of ArcCorp. Those interiors would give you kind of like what they did for Orison, but you could land on other parts of ArcCorp and actually do stuff on the planet, you know?
What about an Atlas? Got an Atlas mech suit, yeah, but with a gun.
I see.
Call it a
definitely
Titan.
on that.
Or a punch. Or a both. A punch gun.
Stand by for Titanfall.
I was actually, my hot take would be what you were talking about, 5-star, is they go into talking about Planet Tech V5, and in doing so, they acknowledge that building interiors are ready to go with Planet Tech V5, and they are reworking ArcCorp in the way that it's supposed to be, with ArcCorp basically having building interiors taking the place of the outposts and bunkers on the other planets. That would be, I think that would be a huge...
take over like a building block with my friends, you know? Just
That
be
gave,
like digital gangs just keep people out of the area.
That gets me more
That's
excited
great.
than a
Mm.
new planet, to be honest. Like
Yeah,
being able to
yeah.
go in
Yeah.
a building and do like infiltration missions, and that'll be so sick.
I really do hope they tie in clan and like with physical building spaces, so you can like pick where they say this is my apartment on Arcorp. That's my building. That's my thing there. And if you can like pick you and clan members to be able to like live in the same sort of building or whatever, and it be your building, that would be so baller.
That sounds like an org feature, which I don't think CIG want to do. They
Org
don't like
freaking
org
There's
features.
no
features,
Well,
man.
But even like it being loose enough that just like you can pick where you go and like that's your apartment, and it's not so much. Oh, we just share the same door, and we're in an instance.
When it-
No, give me as a building, give me a floor, and hand me the keys with my number on it, and say that's mine.
When it comes to org features, I would literally just be able to to see who's in my org. Like that's it. Just show
be good.
me that
That'd be
somebody
pretty cool.
is in my org. It's just the most simple,
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
That
If it's so
easily
easy, why don't you
snowballs.
put it in? Huh?
Yeah,
that
no, I
easily
stop
snowballs
myself
into,
when I
like-
say easy because I know it's probably not. But it's like
Yeah.
I know they're waiting to redo all of the org stuff instead of just like adding a little thing on our names that says this person's in your org. Because when you come up
Your org,
against somebody at Jumptown and you're just fighting people,
Well-
it'd be cool to see somebody who's in your org and be like, okay, hold on, let's team up.
Look, they might look into doing something with that now when you think about it, because they have broken a previous like taboo that they said they would never do, where
What?
we have instanced hangars, where the hangars are on our side, and
Instant
they are.
technology, I'll have you know.
It's a step further. It's not something that people just used to do. It's something new. Oh, that's cool. It's cool. But now that they have broken that seal, that means that on their side with their new technology, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, they can do things like say a persistent shared clan hangar, for instance, and that not just be a complete strain on a server to have all this crap going on, like that everyone has to pay for, like load wise on a network.
Yeah.
Where if
I
it's
would
just
say-
like local to them, beautiful. Like that's the whole thing about the hangars. I did a whole video saying the reason the hangars are the way they are is because ego. Because anyone else like would take that closed elevator door to just send the player to where they need to go and then open it up and there they are. But no. They had to physically make the elevators move.
But yeah, I
If
think
it was an instance elevator, it would never have been a problem. It would never have been a problem.
I mean, you could say that about half the stuff in Star Citizen, though. Like, if they
Yeah.
didn't do it,
yeah.
seamless planets, server meshing wouldn't be a problem. It's just a lot of stuff that they've done that the design of the game is part of the reason why the game just takes so long and causes so many problems. And I think
There
that's
would
up
be
to
other
opinion.
problems to be focused on if they hadn't
Yeah.
done these things.
That's
a
fair.
lot
They
of
did.
problems that they created on their own.
Yeah, but they would have created those problems with other things. They'd be focusing their resources on making everything so pretty, and like every surface has got its own sort of surface tension, and you can slip on it based on the speed you're running. It'll be stuff like that instead.
God,
Like-
jeez.
Don't give ideas.
Okay, I need more hot takes. What else? Board, you said 1.0 roadmap, Crucian. What is your take? What would be the most surprising thing?
This people might hate me for this one, but
All good.
I think they're gonna announce something that people don't want,
Oh,
and that's them bringing back like the RSI SciTech cultists back then. Like they're gonna partner up with some hardware company to come out with some type of branded, and people are gonna be pissed off because they're like, oh, why are you not putting those resources into the game? Like if the licensing team can develop the game, So that's my hot take, that they're gonna release some type of product that
They're gonna
so
they're gonna team up with
that is
Meta
just-
and make Star
with
Citizen
who?
VR goggles.
With who? Who they're gonna have a brand? It will be like Monster Tech or something like that, right? It's gotta be someone like that. Go on,
Yeah,
tell us,
like
tell us.
instead of the chairs, we're finally gonna get our HOTAS combo that they put out. What, like the camera that they showed and never came
Whoa,
to
whoa,
market?
whoa! You've got Toby eye trackers now. They'll probably go with Toby for the camera. That's fine. Don't worry
Okay,
about
yeah,
what they
yeah.
said
No,
with
dude.
Faceware.
To be honest, they're gonna have to bring out something that works well for all of us entering our retirements, because like the player base itself is just getting
more
it's too far.
disposable income. As you get into retirement, you have more disposable income. I've heard.
I need to
So
get
they
up
can make it
less.
more expensive.
Make
You
my
do make a
chair
good
a
point.
hybrid toilet.
Yeah, you do make a good point, but the thing is, Toby, I don't think Toby does also face cam that controls the feature in game, the
But
VoIP.
they could.
Could, yes. So I don't know. I just think that they're gonna. My hot take is that they're gonna release some product that people are not gonna want, and people are just gonna be pissed off. And
Okay.
I
that's
think you're
just
right.
life.
If
So,
if you're gonna have a Squadron 42 release date, right? Why not bundle it with some hardware? Like I think.
Yo, if there's one
yeah.
thing I think we can know for sure, it's that the marketing in the lead up to Squadron's release is going to be insane. Like
Yeah.
because I mean, that's where that investment came from, right? From the Calders. That their whole investment was supposed to be for marketing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they earmarked some of the stuff for Squadron 42 marketing. We know that, but we're not sure what earmarked means and exactly
Right.
what sort of advertising. And we don't know what traditional advertising is anymore. Like,
that's true.
Is that going to be big content creators? Is that going to be a traditional campaign like we would have had on the past with TV and streamed ads? Is that going to be them appearing at the games expos and E3 and stuff? Like, what's it going to be?
What if it was an anthology series that they released in partnership with Netflix about Star Citizen stories like that old thing, what was it, the Mercury Star Runner video they released? What if they just released a bunch of like 8-minute episodes of Squadron 42
cool.
stuff?
That'd be pretty fire. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That'd be
But I doubt
expensive.
it.
I would love to see a documentary of just Star Citizen in general, because people think that 5 people in their garage can make a game of this magnitude.
They
in the
owe us
first 5
that.
years. So,
Well,
so-
once it's more out though. Otherwise, people
Yeah,
would go,
100%,
You
yeah,
spent money on that. It's not even out yet.
then everybody that has been a big part of the game that's not part of the company anymore, they're gonna have to
Oh my god.
AI them back in or something.
They need the happy story at the end,
5-star. How about yourself? What's your hot take? What do you think they'll bring?
Oh yeah, for me, I think it's again release date for Squadron probably late 2025, based on the whole Calders thing, and I think they're gonna show base building. I really do.
Yeah.
Like more of like how it actually works in game. That's my main hot take. We got base building.
Okay. And overall, what do you guys the hot taking was kind of what do you hope to see, but in general, what do you think are the biggest wins they could have? Like what's most important for them? We've talked plenty about Squadron 42, so I'm going to take that one off the list. A lot of people are saying, yeah, more star systems are great, but we need to see more of actual content and things we can do. What do you think people mean by that CIG can deliver at CitizenCon that would actually lead to satisfaction?
I think it also depends on if 4.0 is coming this year, because I think a lot of people are really still hung up on the 12 months or so thing. So if anything from that speech isn't out by CitCon, it would be whatever is missing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
hard
fair.
to say.
Question. Yeah,
It's hard to say because biggest wins. It's so okay. This is why, because biggest wins is dates and promises, and that's the one thing that is poison to Star Citizen is dates and promises, and that's the one. And we almost don't want them to at this point. We don't want them to make these dates. We know because it's a whole thing. But if they really want to have a win, and can kick it off right. Dates and promises and keep them. Like that's the one thing we've never really said.
So it's a long-term delivery that they need.
Well, then just be like
trust
142 this time.
Mm.
4.0 this time. Boom, it come out. Yeah.
I'm going to trust them whatever they say this time. If they do any promises, they do any dates, I'll trust them. I'm just going to. I'm an idiot. I love
all
it.
in. He's Bord,
you've been in this longer than any of us.
Battered Star Citizen syndrome. I deserve it at this point.
He's given up.
No, I haven't given up. I've always believed they'll make a great game, and I've always been sort of like, I'm along for the project. I love it, whatever. Like I'm enjoying playing it now. I'm enjoying them failing with stuff and being delayed. I'm enjoying the sort of project and the community as a whole. I mean, I get to play Star Citizen, and I've played it more than I have any other game in my entire life. Partly because it's still not ready, and that's just an interesting thing as well. Like I love what they're trying to do, and I do think they're going to be able to do it to to what I think it's going to be, but what I think it's going to be is very different to what every other individual person thinks Star Citizen is going to be, which is a dangerous thing as well. And
Yeah.
everyone has very different view
It's
of
why
what
the
it
first
is.
Alien film was really good, because it wasn't what you saw on screen, it's what you didn't see
Didn't
on
see,
screen. And so
Yeah.
the game is simultaneously in everyone's head the best one for them, and also, but who knows, you know?
And you're saying they should be talking about all the stuff that's not happening. Like, now
Maybe.
while you're doing this mission, all the dynamic universe stuff's in there, but you just can't see it. It's there.
Well, that's what they've been
It's
doing.
that one,
That's
it's on
what
the ground.
that's Pez, man. I still have a conspiracy theory that Pez isn't even in the game right now. I reckon it's turned it off. It was too
What?
stressful.
Those entities persist. I'm sure they do. I wouldn't
I
check.
it
can't be
feels
asked, but-
I've been checking. It feels exactly the same as last time. Sorry, last time I was on your podcast, Tomato. I went on this exact same rant
Yeah.
of my theory that Pez doesn't exist.
But I notice
yeah,
things
sorry.
persisting. I don't like. I definitely
Yeah.
About
see
the same
things
as
that
much
have
as
been.
before
Yeah.
Pez, though. I feel they feel about the
Something
same
broke
as
the
before.
game. And I'm pretty sure Pez did it.
But remember when it was crazy? Remember when Pez was crazy and you saw it everywhere? I don't know
I
the last
don't-
time I really saw Pez and noticed it.
I don't see ships. I see way more ships left in different places than I did before 318. Like that's definitely something that I notice. And a lot of times it's like they are ships that work still. It's not like they were just destroyed in their husks. They're like actual ships.
I
sticking around.
reckon that Pez ultimately was important because it was just technology we needed for the replication layer to be able to communicate all that stuff to multiple servers. And I reckon that it's doing its job now in the replication layer, and I really don't care. I think it's
Yeah.
just funny that we don't see the chaos of what was happening with Pez like at all anymore. And I think it's because they just
I think the
turned down.
make it
database.
so as a pattern. Yeah,
I do think
they
the
made it
database-
as what it was
cranked
before.
way
Yeah.
down.
I do
from
think
what
the
it was
database
initially.
gives them a lot of problems. It seems
Yeah.
like a sticking point for them. But Bored, going back to what you said, because I think that was really interesting. The idea of like sticking around and enjoying it because it's not finished. Do you think that's going to hurt the game when it comes out? One of the big sort of theories
No.
people have is that they keep it purposefully in development because people will not spend money or not stick around after it's been finished.
I said this to you before the stream started. I've said to some people, there is a level of commitment that you have to put into Star Citizen at the moment. It's gate kept by the fact that it is not finished yet. So you have to put time, commitment. You have to actively go, I'm going to participate in this community. And that gives you a level of sort of, you want that community to do well. You want Star Citizen to do well. And because of that, I really enjoy the project as it is at the moment. When it gets more mainstream, I'll enjoy it in a different way, but it does open the gateway to a different kind of experience. And I'm up for both, but I'm enjoying this one as well at the moment. And the people that come later won't get to experience that decade that I've sort of had the opportunity to participate in and really enjoyed because of it.
For better or worse.
For better or worse, yeah. Sure.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree.
Last thoughts, guys, on anybody who's watching this, who's planning on getting into CitizenCon. Maybe it's their first time ever watching a CitizenCon. Any advice or thoughts on setting expectations?
One thing I want to touch on this real quick is that if you're like, yes, CitizenCon is a place where you want the new information. It's the place where you want to get excited. But honestly, like I keep telling people this, I go to CitizenCon for community, first of all. Seeing those org mates that you've been playing on the game and talking trash since 2019, since however long you've joined that org, that's why you want to go to Star Citizen or to CitizenCon. Like yes, of course, if they do reveal things, it's definitely icing on the cake. But I go to see the people I've been, running events with at ATMO Esports, seeing the racers that race in the Daymar Rally, like seeing that community. That's the whole point I'm going. I want to, bump shoulders with these guys, shake people's hands, hopefully not get sick,
Yeah.
You grab a beer with all these people. So, that's why I'm going. Like, yes, I have more access to, a regular person around, devs and things like that. But honestly, I just want to be around the people that have the same passion that I do for this game and talk to them about it and get them more excited for just things that we are doing as an org or as a tournament organizer in the future. And if they are putting in more tools for us to a new system for us to take races to, a new, base building tool so we can make our own ramps and jumps that people, can die off of it, then I'm all down for it. But nothing's going to be a better experience than to be with the community. And I'm pretty sure as a content creator for everybody here, it's going to be the same thing. So
Yeah, exactly. So like if you aren't actually going to CitizenCon, go not necessarily watch it on Star Citizen's own Twitch or YouTube or whatever. Watch it with your favorite, content creator, such as myself. Whoever like has that community around in the chat at the time that you want to enjoy that stuff with. Like if you haven't like watched CitizenCon before, if you've seen like, an Inside Star Citizen or a Star Citizen Live, if you've seen one of those that was really good, it's like they hold all the best stuff for a really big, 2 days of that stuff on CitizenCon. So it's all that kind of announcement and really pretty information and new ships and sales all coming out. Find your community and, spend it with them.
Okay.
Agreed.
So I've never been to a CitCon. I think like 75-80% of the community probably has never or won't ever go to one. But I think the best thing to do during CitCon is just really take it all in and just temper your expectations. What you're going to see on the screen is a whole lot of hype, and that's good. But just keep a level head, and at the same time, don't let yourself be too skeptical. You can let yourself be hype, but have the emotional maturity to where if it doesn't go through, it ain't gonna wreck you. It is what it is.
Well, maturity. Nah. Go, just look. Just
Because I know a
enjoy
lot of
it.
people, they don't want to let themselves get hyped. Me, I'm like, I'll get hype, and if I'm disappointed, I can handle it.
No, don't worry about that disappointment. Go for the short-term hype and enjoy yourself. The
Hell
good
yeah.
times are never gonna end. From CitizenCon onwards, it's all the sky's the limit. More and more releases.
Yeah, buy that war bond.
Buy everything
This
with
is a
real money because
sickness.
you might not be able to get it in game.
Just do
There might not
it.
be enough
No,
in
it'll
game.
come.
Um,
It'll be like a
no,
month or two.
I mean,
don't do that.
a question for you, Tomato. Like, you went to CitizenCon last year, right? And as a creator, how refreshed did you feel to come back home and actually make content for the game? And that's another thing for creators too, is like when you go to CitizenCon, you feel so refreshed and reinvigorated every time you go. It's like you get excited to want to make content for that first like 3 months after CitizenCon, and then it dies down. But it's still a good reminder of like why you love making content in Star Citizen, and I'm pretty sure you met so many people at at CitizenCon in LA that you were like, man, like a lot of people really love my content, and I want to continue pushing this, so.
It was a
Yeah,
surprise.
I love the buzz around CitCon. Like last year, that time was just awesome. I can't wait for that again.
It's good times. I think a lot of people these days, and just in general, and I think this was really this became very apparent during the pandemic for a lot of people. People just kind of lack community. You can always try and find your group, whether it's at your work, whether it's at your third place that you go to, like maybe you join like a fitness club or you go to the gym or something, anything really that you're doing throughout the week is a place where you're trying to like fit into a community, find people who believe in something you believe in or like something that you like. That's the basis for a lot of people's religious involvement.
Or
and I
hate
think
something what you all hate. That's why the haters are still present, because they have a community of other haters as well. And so they no matter what, even if like
He sounds
something's
Reddit.
sucking, it's a community of people who feel the suck,
yeah.
Shout out to the Refundian.
But just being around people who enjoy things that you enjoy, whether it's hating or loving, is
Feel the suck.
it's good fun. And I think it's healthy for people. And that's part of going to something like CitizenCon. Maybe it's not to see the features
Yeah.
in person, but to enjoy other
It
people.
can be healthy, but then you also get flat earthers. So just saying.
Hey, flat
Just
earthers
saying,
need
there
love
are
too, man. They just
extremes.
also need some education.
Jesus,
Some exposure, maybe.
What? I'm just I'm
Then you
aware
get
of these
flat
things.
Earth.
Look. Okay, I think I'm very much going to Star Citizen. I'm going there for the community. I love it for the community. That is the best reason to attend these things. However, I also want to go because I love to be swept up around the hype. I'm just mature enough when I come back from CitizenCon to go, I really enjoyed that hype. And now it might be a while before that stuff happens, but I want to see the cool new stuff. It's all the cool things. I don't want to care if it's going to be 2 years' time. So I see it now and know that it's coming. And that reinvigorates me as a content creator, as you guys were saying as well. I totally agree with that. It goes back, well, I've got now another 2 years worth of content that they're going to be putting out. So I love it. I love it for the excitement, but also don't then go, well, I hate that they lied to me.
I can go either way. Some accountability is good, but I think that they're doing okay at delivering this stuff. I think that it can be like, they need to not do the whole date thing. You know, I think it's best to just tell us what you're working on and not set any expectations on when it's coming. I know as much as you may want to, just let us know what's happening, not when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's my
Overall,
take.
Unless they want the biggest win.
Yeah, I think 2024 was a great year for them. Personally, I think this was a good
It's
year.
a lot better than previous years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after living through the 317 thing, this was an amazing year, I think.
I mean, I know you said you don't want a date, but the thing is, how can they hype up Squadron 42 if they don't put a date on it?
I think
Or-
Squadron
or a
42 is the
time
one
frame?
thing that probably should get a window.
Oh,
at
okay,
least.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of the PU,
I think
though,
so too.
I think that, you could tell us that you're working on base building. Like last
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
they said
the
when they were
features, yeah.
starting it, right? Not when they were planning on putting it into the game. And I think that's an okay way to do it. But
Yeah, I agree.
folks, thank you so much for joining me for this talk. It was not an exhaustive list. There's probably plenty of little things here and there. Like, we didn't even talk about the engine side of things, rendering, ray tracing, all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of little things that will probably be at CitizenCon, but hopefully this has given you some idea of more of the big ticket items and where the feelings are about what's going to happen at CitizenCon. I'm going to go around the circle. It's not really, it's like a square kind of rectangle thing. I'm going to let you guys all say one last thought if you have it, and let the folks know where they can find your own content before we head off. We'll start going the opposite way this time. So 5-Star, let the folks know.
What's up, everybody? Hope you guys enjoyed the show. You can catch me on Twitch and YouTube as The5Star. I'll be putting out a new video every time a new patch drops. You can expect a Shadow Patch Notes video from me. And when CitCon is live, you can come on by and watch it with me. So, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for joining. Crucian?
Yeah, subscribe to everybody else here except me. Please do that. Go do that. No, I gotta
Agree.
show. I gotta show for everybody else. But if you are going to CitizenCon, please come join us and enter Atmosphere. I promise you, it's something that you won't forget. Yeah, I mean, if you guys would like to find me, at Crucian Gaming on most platforms, but definitely whenever you can, go check out an ATMO Esports event on Twitch or YouTube, whatever your platform of your choice is. And I'm telling you, man, just come for the fun and come be part of the community. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Crucian. Dedleader?
Yeah, I'll be streaming here doing Dad Bingo. So if you want to win some free ships and have a bit of a laugh, I'll be streaming it here on YouTube, just at my username Dedleader, and be having a bit of fun.
Cool, then. Thank you for joining me as well, Ded, and BoredGamer.
Hello, I'm BoredGamer. You can check me out on YouTube/BoredGamer UK. I think that's probably what I make Star Citizen videos, and they'll have to pry the mouse out of my cold, dead hand before I stop, which is likely going to be around Star Citizen's release date. That's what I suspect now. I'm looking forward to CitizenCon. I think it's going to be great, and I hope to see some of you there, whether you're a viewer or you yourself, Crucian.
Awesome. Well, thanks again to all of you. This has been a great talk. Hopefully, if you've been watching, you got some entertainment, some information, and some good times out of it. Go into CitizenCon with be ready to be hyped, but also keep your expectations in check.
Oh, that's juxtaposed. That's two different things.
No, man.
I was
You
one-
can be hyped
first
and
one.
responsibly hyped, okay? You drink responsibly, hype responsibly. That's the best way to do it. Thank you all again for watching Citizen Central this month. We will be back again next month with a follow-up to CitizenCon to see how things have gone and talk a little bit about, whether or not we expect those things to be delivered in time. For anybody who's sticking around on the live show, we will now be heading over to some org gameplay, so make sure to stick around. It'll be in just a couple of minutes. You don't have to go anywhere. If you're on YouTube, you'll raid right in. If you're on Twitch, it'll be right here on the same channel. But thanks again, everybody, for joining. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum.